Good.
All right. Hopefully we're seeing that correctly. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. So today we'll be having like an interesting concept, right, guys? It's me, Board, and Didrik, and with the help of Didrik, who is master at that, we'll be going through designing and actually, implementing. So from step 0 all the way to launching, let's say, the entire React Day Norway website, right, Mr. Board, which is an event, a conference that we've been organizing, like I want to say since 2019, but last year we didn't manage to get it up due to COVID, due to Corona, so that outbreak.
So and this year we want to do it live, and we already have the website of last year up now. But during this live stream, the goal is actually to design and rebuild and launch the website. So as I said on Twitter earlier, what could possibly go wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, and thankfully nothing falls on me, so I'll be doing the heavy lifting. You guys talk, and that's always a good idea.
So yeah, you do the heavy lifting, Didrik. So like the steps is basically, of course, designing, right, as well. So it's we count that in, like the process, the entire process that we're going to show today.
Yeah, and of course, so this could look like 7 different live streams, but we are going to try to do everything today. Because we are going to try to design. I have some concepts in my mind, and we have done some pre-work to some illustrations and stuff. But I'll also share a couple of approaches on how we do this. Because our goal here is to do this today, basically everything, hopefully within 3 hours.
That'll be cool.
So we'll do the design. We'll go through the content modeling just to see that everything is as expected. And of course, we are going to use the furniture as an advantage point. Project initiation, we'll use the CLI, we'll inject the shapes. I'll show that as well. You guys will be showing how to add content in Crystallize. After that, we will spend most of our time building the website. And hopefully, we will deploy and have it live today.
Nice. Cool steps. Let's see it happening.
All right, so we should just start, just jump into it. Let's one last thing. Let's just look at the previous website. We had a plan to add React Day Norway 2020 as well, but like you said, that didn't happen. So we are having one in 2021 instead, but it is online. So what we will basically be doing is creating this website with some improved and some fresh graphics. So let's see how it goes.
Nice.
All right. So we just get started then, and like you initiated with, nothing can go wrong here today.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be all fine.
But just jump to maybe show some of the assets that you have prepared, and also, of course, we prepared some of the content that because this will be a one-pager. We're going to reopen the call for papers today, as there will be a few more speaking slots. But maybe just talk about the assets that we have.
Yeah, like I said, I prepared some assets already. We have prepared some content because we know what to say. So we are going to open call for papers, but not sell tickets yet. That will probably be part 2 of this. But from what we can see here, you can see this is the old one. We have some illustrations. I have supplemented with a couple of more. These illustrations are from our illustrator. The others here are stuff that I have supplemented with from, call it stock, from a website called FreePick. Here we can basically find whatever you need. They are free to use, but then you have to credit the author. But you can also pay for a subscription, and then you can use whatever you want. So what I usually do is I find an illustration style, and you can see that user 1793824/7's illustration style is pretty close to what our illustrator has. So I usually go into that user and I find things that supplement or complement my text or our text, basically. So I can see I found 3 different illustrations. I've recolored them to my new palette here. I also found some clouds that I added some outline to, just here in Figma. And of course, I added a React Native logo, or not React Native, but our React Norway logo, which is, of course, the world famous cheese slicer.
Designed by a Mexican, Mr. Eddie.
Yes, Mr. Eduardo. He designed this.
Nice.
Yeah, so what we will be doing is try to make some designs. Like I said, I have some ideas on where I want to go, and that's why you also see this already. How I have created some clouds or some section dividers.
But I guess then the first is, Didrik, just about the fold. Get started, make something beautiful, as we usually say. We are time boxing this. We want to spend like maybe 20 minutes on design here. So it's, kind of quick design process. But we have the content. So it's the title, and we have a description, which is basically when the conference will be. And as you clearly can read on the screen, it's Wednesday, 9th of June, so this year. And we will stream this from 8. No, not 8, 12.
Oh, sorry, from 12. Yeah. I'll bring it in here so we can read it while I work. 12 to 9, I think, was the point there. It says 20 there, but 12 to 21 CET. So I'll just actually pop the Figma and change that, because that was an error. So it's a 9-hour online conference.
So like the first step would be to design like the, let's say the one-pager, and then another step would be to create like the e-commerce part where you would go in and purchase like your ticket and save your spot for the premium content, let's say, or premium content, but
So and our concept for this conference here will be, so we will do probably 3 streams just to share how we're building the website, just as to create some content for people. And the goal or the scope of today is to have a live website that has the content that describes the conference, has the link to the call for papers, which we have prepared. It's a Google form, actually, and also that we are listing the sponsors that make this happen, sponsors and partners. And we'll go through each of the points here. And while Didrik is speed designing,
it looks like he's going in fast forward, but it's not pre-recorded, guys. Just in case you're wondering, this is just how Didrik is designing.
We usually have this process where we sit and talk and quick decisions instead of me sitting for a couple of days designing stuff. We just sit in a group and we say yes and no. So whenever I do something that is right, I get the thumbs up. Other than that, I get a lot of thumbs down. So like I said, and board can fix whatever I do. And of course, here we are using Figma, which is well, it has multiplayer.
Call for papers.
We'll see. Well, I'm not, and of course you can be structured in Figma as well. I'm usually not a structured person when I design because it's a lot of concepts, and usually we are changing something in the near future. Yeah, I see that I struggle to talk and design, so you guys talk.
Yeah, you just design. But again, the goal with the folder is we want something eye-catching, and we have these bold illustrations that Mr. Sokolov designed. I mean, he actually designed it for a different concept we had. It was he made a poster for a conceptual company that never happened. But anyway, we kind of did originally the same process when we launched React Norway 2019. We spent an afternoon, booking the venue, coming up with the call for papers, designing and launching the website. And it's kind of why we're doing it live now is to show that this doesn't have to be a very long process, even if we're actually going to implement this in React Next.js and launch it live on Vercel. And we're starting in Figma as a design. So it's to show this headless process, and maybe what could go wrong. We're 10 minutes into it now. And,
I'm working on the button. Yeah, for now this works. Well, let's see if we'll go back to this. Maybe add outline that matches the text here.
Yeah,
something like this.
But also something we actually do is when we set the design direction, some of the details is also fixed when we go to the CSS. So it's not necessarily that everything needs to be pixel perfect and responsive and everything. And we're using, of course, the mobile first approach, as you can see.
I know that's the right. People say that that's the right approach, but just for me, it stops the creative process.
Yeah,
So
but
like
what I like about the concept that us doing something live, well, by us I mean Didrik, of course, who is designing. It's like that. It blends in with the concept of the conference and sharing knowledge, which is exactly why we brought in the entire idea of live streaming and talking about different concepts and showing through the process what we do, what we follow.
Yeah,
I can guarantee one thing is that the process today is not going to be perfect. We are going to hit some road bumps, but we'll do our best, and we'll see how this will turn out.
But since this is one pager, what Didrik is doing now is, of course, adding just some dividers, as we kind of had from the previous conference, because we see that we have different sections. So now the fold is, well, maybe it will be tuned, but it's kind of designed. We need to have a Twitter icon, by the way. We should add that somewhere.
I think I actually prepared it somewhere. Yeah, I did prepare a lot of content, and basically what I did prepare was the content that we had from our previous site, and also from our basically the illustrations. You see that when I talk now, it's it doesn't go too fast.
Just the sign, but just get the icon up there so that we get the link once we're going to implement this guy. But as we see now, we have the fold, and of course, following this
We'll see.
style that we used previously, we have now. The bold illustrations, we have a divider, and then you can see that we're probably going to add some repeating sections. And we know about the content. We have made a draft of the description of the call for papers, which is probably the next section. Not probably. We see that it's the next section.
We are all in agreement on how the content should be structured. We just need to agree on how it's going to look.
Yeah, here we have basically a structure where we have a title, and then we have a paragraph and a bullet list, which is a very typical way of writing for the web. If you want to have a reverse pyramid notation or whatever you call it, so you have the title, call for papers, and a small description, and then you have the bullet lists of what what topics the call for papers are. And of course, this is a React conference. We are extending it a little bit to be more about the front end in general, but React web development, React Native, GraphQL, of course, which is, it's not React, but it's kind of in there in the ecosystem, and things around CI, CD testing, continuous deployment, and of course, as we're fanatic about performance and scalability, that's also really one of the topics we would like to get people to talk about. On the call for papers, I must say that there are some of the slots for speakers already filled, because we did have a conference that was scheduled for last year that we moved tentatively to this year, and now that we're moving it a little bit again and making it online, there are some speakers that already are confirmed. And if you look at the React Norway website, well, if you see a re-recording of this, that website won't exist anymore because you will see this guy. But Cognite will speak. Topic to be decided, and also Tinder technology will speak. So that's some of the teasers of what's already confirmed there. So now you're doing the call for papers section, Didrik, and I would like to see the bullet list in there also. Yeah, that's what you're doing now.
Nice. Looks wonderful.
Okay. I agree. They actually added support for bullet lists in their text. It hasn't always been like this.
Oh, Figma?
Yes.
Yeah, so I remember you actually had to place each of the bullets next to the text if you're designing a bullet list. Extremely efficient design process.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased that they have it. Yes.
Nice. So every time that we watch Didrik design something, it's just nice to just watch the process.
So we're all be quiet now?
so you're not adding bullet lists, Didrik, or are you?
I am, but that's the thing. If I want to have a bullet list and then I have a centered aligned text, because I do have a plan here. Like so, it's going to look a bit weird.
I see.
But let's see. Probably figure something else.
So we'll do probably like a speakers section and like the schedule, right?
Yeah, I think that's the next stream. Once we will do, let's see, a couple of weeks now of call for papers and be pretty quick on accepting the talks. And then we will add the speakers and the agenda. And after that, we will probably actually do a live stream where we show how we can open tickets and sell tickets online. We will do 2 types of tickets. One, which is free online. We will stream everything online. So all the sessions will be streamed live and be available recorded online. And we are, one of the nice things with a conference is always the merch, right? You want to have the merch from the conference. So you
call it swag.
Swag, yeah.
The swag.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
I'm older than you, Stavros.
Slightly bit.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, but we're thinking that we will open up 1,000 tickets where you get access to the chat room and can ask questions, and also, so you don't necessarily pay for that, but we will ship the swag to you. So we're thinking to design a T-shirt and a coffee mug, so that those that want can sign up for the ticket, which will be, we'll have to calculate, but $20-30, something like this, which is basically the cost for the swag that will be shipped to the attendees. So it's a little, twist on online conference, but you need somehow to get the physical part of it.
Nice.
So you designed now the bullets and made
not
them
100% convinced, but let's just leave it be for now because we need to move on. We might we'll figure something good out here.
Let's do it live in React.
Yeah, let's. This is future me problem. Let's add another section here. And of course, like I said, I'm planning ahead now, sort of. That okay, now we have call for papers, but I do know that call for papers is going to disappear at some point.
Yeah.
Because this is just now initially. So this will probably get replaced by schedules and speakers, etc. But like you guys have said, I've listened. This is something that we will do in a second.
But just jump to the next section. I'll fix the call for papers.
Good for you. Yeah, you fix that button. I'll jump to the next section.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got 2 designers now.
Oh, yes, we do. Here
Nice.
we are going to. Yes. As you can see, I'm not figuring this out now that we will use the section. We had a plan on the content, and from that, I also did create a plan for section dividers, and that's why I already have a pink cloud section here, and we have illustration to supplement our text, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll do something like this, but yeah. Here.
You see how I designed that?
I'll see what you did, Warren. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll not worry about the text breaking. You'll fix that in the content.
Oh yeah, that's stuff we need to figure out later on. I see. Oh. Once again, this illustration, we cannot credit our illustrator because this is something we found on FreePick. But it supplements our style real well, which is this blob here. And he had more important stuff to design, or to more important stuff to draw.
So, like about this, guys, you will export these as sort of images and include them in the project?
Yes, all of this will of course be assets, either in Crystallize or like some of these I will add in Crystallize, but some of them I know will be there. Like this guy, I think I will just export as a big asset.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I just need to make the paper stick out there. Okay, let's not destroy the illustrations. And this is probably for some Figma enthusiasts painful to watch, how I butcher both the structure and how I'm not using the special functions, etc. But it's like I always say, it gets stuff done.
Yeah, and the point with this session is also to show that, okay, let's just get it done. Let's get it out there. And of course, we could have a design process here a week, but let's time box it to 30 minutes instead, because well, then we know that after 30 minutes we're done with the design, and we can move on to next step because there's multiple steps in this. You should make the cloud, the pink cloud, a little bit wider horizontally.
Yeah.
Yep.
This. There. Good point, Board. We'll do something like this. Okay. We're almost there. I promise.
All right, looks good.
And the point with these illustrations is the whole concept for the illustrations for React Norway was just weirdness.
It was.
So the original
that weirdness.
Yeah. So we decided to drop the dude there, which we used on the first conference, but we reused at least is it a fish or is it? I'm not sure what it is, but the round green thing.
Blob?
Blob.
I have no idea what it is.
I'm not sure if Bartos knows either, but at least it's there.
Yeah, I like it. Only thing I'm struggling with is placing the head. Maybe we'll just skip that. There we go. I don't know. This is getting better.
Well, you know what? Skip the head. Let's do it headless.
Oh,
unintended. Yeah, I understood that reference. Oh, there it is. There we go. A bit there. We'll just turn it, make it a bit bigger.
And of course, whenever you look at Didrik designing, he's just moving things around until it looks good.
Isn't that design in general? Well, some people will not be pleased with that statement.
Oh. And you introduced a new color. So you changed it a little bit. So you both modified the color scheme a bit and illustrations. And so it's a proper, I would say it's a proper iteration of the website, what you're doing now.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think it's for the better, hopefully. But yeah, that was exactly what I intended to do.
But is this the call for paper section? I don't think it is.
Oh, no, it's just to keep the style.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. All right. Here, every time we have a left-aligned text, it's so much easier to add bullet lists.
So by adding a centered text, of course, you made it just harder for yourself. But we solved that by just having text on a single line, and that's design compromise or content compromise. We just we could have fiddled with that for a long time, and of course, brainpower on. So that's
the text do complement a lot of the illustrations. Well, vice versa.
Yeah, and that's what you've prepared a couple of illustrations for. And this is where you're describing the conference. And this is, so the conference will be online, streamed, free. So anybody can join. It will be streamed on reactnorway.com, probably also on YouTube. We are discussing the agenda. It's 9 hours, and we're thinking most sessions would be 40-45 minutes plus Q&A. And then if there's leftover time until the top of the hour, we will do a break. And then we will probably do a couple of stints of 20-minute sessions so that you get 2 sessions per an hour. So those that are sending in call for papers, you could either have a 20-minute or a 40-ish minute talk. And there will be a little bit of buffer in the agenda so that people can, take some breaks. 9 hours straight in front of the computer. I don't know. Well, it's a regular working day, I guess, but
should be okay for people working with. Okay, something in that direction. I think this will. Well, we want to implement the buying of tickets at the moment, so we'll add the call to action later on, I guess. Like we say, we don't have a buy ticket button at the moment. I just have some breaks to take some water.
Yeah, no, and I think this is good. You have the description of the conference, so we're describing the type of conference that we have, and that it will be also possible to get merch. And we're thinking 1,000 tickets that people who want merch can buy that, get access to the chat room as mentioned, and discuss among the other attendees and also ask questions to the speakers. And of course, the real reason would be to get the merch shipped to you.
Yeah. And just a small design comment here. You can see that I use the same item over and over. And that's just because I don't want to load too many assets. So here, of course, I need to have 2 different assets here for white and pink. But instead of adding a new type of cloud down here, which will increase performance and load time, I'll just use CSS to flip horizontally.
Of course, you could also consider doing it as an SVG and switch the color, but yeah.
Yeah, but an assumption I do have is that it's so many details that the SVG will actually be bigger than a PNG or a JPEG.
I agree. So we're coming up on half an hour of designing, Didrik.
Oh, snap.
So
Okay.
we should wrap this up.
Sorry. I am trying to do this as fast as I can.
So basically,
but,
the last sections are, so we want to have sections for the sponsors, and we will have 3 different levels of sponsors. Just aside Didrik, Stavros and me will talk. You can focus. So it's platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, and silver sponsors. And in this section, we will just have a small text, and then the company logos. So you can do, well, just add some auth 0 you can take. It's a gold sponsor already.
We'll do this. We probably will have more than one at some point. So you know what? Let me first just design some other stuff here. It's I'm not stressing or anything. Just when you said half an hour.
No, don't worry about the time. We've got plenty of time.
Yep. I made popcorns, Didrik. Don't worry about it.
Good. Good. Let's try to keep this content fun. Let's hear.
So we'll do some of the sponsors now, and of course, like the way that I guess we'll make that work in Crystallize will just be, it will be quite easy to just add a new one when someone signs up. And I guess the same will be for the speakers, right, Mr. Board?
Yeah. We won't do the speakers in this stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this will be, and as you will see, we'll just use the standard setup in Crystallize and modify it a bit. So we will use this concept that we call collections, which basically makes it easy for the editorial users to drag and drop sponsors to a collection. In this case, platinum, gold, etc. And we will do the same also with the partners, because there's several partners, community events that we are partnering with, like React India, React Europe, etc., etc. There are tons of them. So we will, of course, need to add them to the list also. And part of these sections is we probably need some small text, Didrik, under the sponsor or somewhere where we can link to the sponsor packages for those that are interested in that.
All right. Just had to add some background here.
Yeah, I saw needed the white background.
Yes.
But it's like, because if you think about the boilerplate, the React or the Next.js boilerplate in Crystallize, we have this collection concept, which is the title. It's a rich text description, and also then it's a collection of items. And we'll probably end up using that.
Yeah.
So if you just give space for some of the text, which is what he's working on now, I see.
Is it okay?
Oh, can you use the fancy way of
linking?
Using hyperlinks? My favorite.
I can do that. You can probably see that we are, oh no, wrong color, using some of our styling guides from Crystallize as well. Like so, we have the same type of hyperlink, and basically the same type of headlines, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to come up with the concept in half an hour, 34 and counting.
And counting, yeah. Like so.
Oh, don't rush it though. But we're streaming only in 24 minutes in YouTube.
Yeah. And of course, we need to push.
No, it's 34. It's 34. But no, it's 33. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, this is a healthy working environment. Usually we tend to do a bit more, but it's like also we can show that we can do this in half an hour. It's a small website.
Typically how we work, it's 2 people watching and 1 guy working.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, you're changing the size of the logos because platinum sponsors get a bigger logo. And as we know, in all design concepts, bigger logo is better.
Exactly. Okay, are we getting there?
Yeah, I think this looks great.
Okay, so partners, let me just add some spacing here. Hata.
Beautiful.
We do have other logos as well, so maybe just for the sponsors we already have, let's get them in there. Yeah, now everybody's seen it, so we can move on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother with changing the logos.
I was about to say that we can do that when we upload.
Yeah, I know.
Right, on the
But
website.
thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to all the sponsors.
Let Stavros do that when we upload.
Yep.
But I guess the last part here is let's just do the same kind of listing of the partners, and then we do the footer and be done with it.
I'm trying. Okay. Let's go.
So when we make the products in Crystallize, we typically never do time estimates because we know it always takes longer. Except for when Didrik is doing it, we said that okay, you have until 2, or we have 2 hours, and we time box everything. And right now he's 5 minutes on overtime on designing. So
so please forgive me.
I will forgive you.
No, this is partner, right?
Yep.
Like so. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. Okay, Auth 0. Thank you for all the partners sponsoring.
Oh, we will add them live, so you'll see them soon. But of course, it takes time if we're going to place all of the. It's just a placeholder.
Yeah, it will take longer for me to add them here than it will when we start coding.
Yeah.
Here, oops, sorry, Norway.
Twitter, Power BI, or something. Yeah.
Something like that. Remember the filter always. And you see that I haven't cared really about spacing or sizing of different stuff because it is going to be a responsive design. So I'll care about that later.
Yeah, even though again you're designing it for desktop first, and I mean in a proper design process you would probably have mobile first, or at least the mobile as well, so that you see how it looks on mobile. But in this case, we want to go fast, and we're not going to implement the responsive version either today.
Let's not bother with it.
Yeah, of course we will make it responsive, but not necessarily to do that live.
Yeah. I can show the concept.
Unless people want to see it, then we can do another one following up on making it responsive.
We can always do a cleanup session.
Mm-hmm.
And this will link to. Let's see. Yeah. I didn't even bother to create the colors for this project.
Yeah, but we have lots of strong colors in the brand, so that's no problem.
All right.
Boom. So, what's the result?
Give a sec. I'll just need to. Let's take it out here. Let's see if we have some sizing. But all in all, this is what we are going to create.
Mm-hmm. Good one. No, it looks good. I really like the illustrations and the bold style there. It's weird.
Yes, it is. It is weird. So we have our fold. What is this? This is Reactive Norway Online. The date. See us on Twitter. Call for papers. More call for papers. Some weird illustrations once again. Brain power on. Yeah. I think it looks all right.
Yep. Good.
It looks good. Thank you for all your help.
We get it,
I changed something.
Yeah, you did. You created it.
I created this square box of text.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
I did nothing. But
I'm
still proud of the design, though.
This is every group project ever.
I think it looks really good, Didrik. I didn't doubt it for a second that it would end up spectacular. And honestly, this is the process we're doing, and typically how we're designing concepts. It's just jumping right into it and making decisions quickly. And that's really when we're working also remotely. We didn't mention it because so we are on 2 different locations in Norway, and Stavros, he is in Athens. So we're kind of scattered around Europe and still live collaborating on Figma. So Figma is really good. I feel sorry for Sketch, but yeah.
Yeah, of course we can work from Sketch as well, but no multiplayer in Figma. It's a program, and it makes it way easier for everybody to collaborate.
Okay, so design, let's say, done.
Okay, I could sit moving stuff around for another half an hour, but then we won't get anywhere. I'll do that when it comes to code.
Let's
All right.
move to the next step.
Okay, let's see our list.
So content modeling. So we know that we will use the Next.js boilerplate in Crystallize because it gives us a head start. And it also comes with some, we call it shapes, which is the structures of content and products. We will not do products today because we will do that in a separate stream where we open the tickets. But we will sell the tickets as products. So we'll get to that later on. But maybe you can look at the shapes that you... So we have a design system.
You know what, Bart? I'll just follow your cursor now. So I can sit back, take a coffee cup, because I guess I'm back to work later on.
Oh, that's a cool feature. That's Figma.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so basically what we have here in Figma is the design system we use in Crystallize for defining information or content models. So we have the products, we have the article, we have the folder, we have what we call a banner and a collection. And this is what we use to lay out the landing pages in our Next.js boilerplate. And I think most of this fits the structure that you have created now, because we have the banners. And if I go back to the design, where is it? Where is it?
Further to the left.
Further to the left, yeah. So you have the designer. So I think this guy is a banner would fit well because you have a title, you have a rich text, and an optional call for papers, or call for action. You could also add images to this, which makes these also actually banners. And I think what we have with the sliders or the collections is what we can use here with the platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, silver sponsors. They are the same type. So it's basically a title. We have a rich text, and then we have a list of items that are embedded here. And visually, they will be shown in a grid here, but in our default boilerplate, it comes up as a slider. So there's some CSS modifications there, I guess.
What we can do here is actually check on the name. That if it's platinum sponsors, it will be this size on the stack.
Now you're thinking implementation. That's good.
Yeah, I'm on to, because initially I thought we'll do an index, but the indexes tend to make it harder to maintain if you're adding something. So,
and basically what we need in addition here is a new shape, because we need to have the sponsors. And what I'll do is, let me try to do this. I'll go here and just add a new document. I'm not sure if what you see here now then. Are you detaching it?
Yep. Right-click, detach.
Yeah. So, which is something you just have to do in Figma for allowing it to be droppable. And I'm thinking that the shape should be quite simple. So we do an image component, I guess, which would be the logo.
And of course, you can't see it now because I am the one sharing the screen. But what Bart is actually doing here is using our content modeling kit, which is a Figma plugin, to create content models like this. And this is the default one from furniture, like I said. And now we are adding another one to show companies, right?
Yeah, just because it sponsors and so it's company. Well, organization.
Organization is better.
Like that, and then we can. Oh, Stavros was there also.
Yeah, I will leave. I will leave.
You can be here.
I'll just move that. Okay, Didrik, I'll.
That was my break. I need to go get in there again. We'll start moving stuff in the Figma.
Oh, I got this. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there? Okay.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So it should be some more white space here, but okay. So this is our content model. We only need an organization, and in the next streams, we will need to add a speaker and an agenda, and that will be some funky modeling with repeating chunks and structured agendas. So, but for now, I think this is good in terms of content model. We will not use the article, but we will leave it there for now. The product also, because we know we will use the product to sell tickets. We'll use the folder. We use with the stackable. We'll use the banner and a collection.
Good. All right.
That's good for now.
So that was content modeling.
Good. Yeah, you can see I created a list. It's interactive.
Yeah.
All right. So what we are going to do now is, first off, I am going to close the window because it's getting cold here. It is Norway, after all. This is live.
Nice. So we'll see like how, of course, we'll go through since we're going to use Next.js boilerplate, right? And I'm guessing now, wild guess incoming, right? So we're going to use the CLI, Didrik, right?
Oh, yes, we are, of course. And that's what we mean by project initiation. We'll also be adding content, and when we are adding content, I will actually stop sharing, and board and users will show Crystallize in all its glory.
So what you could prepare in the background, Stavros, is actually saving all of the logos in a folder on your machine from Figma, so that we can quickly just add the sponsors when we get to that.
So
could you make a terminal a little bit bigger, Didrik?
Yeah. Did that, Didrik? Just zoom in.
I'm trying.
Yeah. A bit more.
Even further?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah. That's better.
Oh, this is horrible. But let's go. So what we are going to do now is to use and if you have followed our live stream, you've probably seen this before, but we are going to use the CLI to create or to initiate a project. Let's see, here we go. So what this does is install some dependencies, and you will get a screen of selections, like so. Perfectly timed. Did you see that?
Perfect.
Once again, you get a lot of options for different boilerplates. We won't be bothering with creating an app for this, so we'll go for Next.js. Here we could also use the content and commerce. I just want to use Next because, well, I'm more familiar with the Next.js boilerplate. So we are going to, I'm just going to initiate everything with the default settings, just to get everything up and running.
Right.
Somebody wants to talk? This is going to take some time.
No, I'm just exporting the layers. I will do like all the, also the partners. Or are we not gonna? We don't have that here.
No, add all the partners. Yes.
Yeah.
They're all in Figma. The reason why I was silent was I was trying to tweet that we're now starting our second hour of live streaming. Well, I'm a little bit early, but you know. Boom.
Nice.
Multitasking. You see what I did there?
Beautiful.
I see what you did there.
So.
Right. Okay, now you can see that everything is ready. We are going to go into CD, React, Norway.
Okay.
There's up, and Yarn Dev.
I've got a little bit of an echo on you, Didrik. Is that just me, or?
Yeah, I think it's just you. Are you not getting it from me either, or is it only the Didrik?
No, only the Didrik.
Okay.
I can hear you as well, Bård. So maybe it's you, Stars.
Okay. But I have like headphones on.
Yeah, I do as well.
Let me try this thing. I'm muting Stavros a little bit. How's it doing now?
Did that work? Yeah,
that was perfect.
We
solved it. We solved it.
We solved it. Oh.
But basically, what's going on now is that you started the. Explain what's going on now, because you have a local host running here with React Next.js environment. Yeah?
Yes, exactly. I was just taken out of the flow by all the feedback on Stavros' mic, but now I can.
I solved it.
Can continue.
Yeah,
I solved it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We actually lost connection. All right. Yeah. So what I actually did was to initiate a project using our Next.js boilerplate. You can see that now it is running on localhost 3000. So if I go here, you can see it's going to take some time because it's building locally. We are running the furniture boilerplate, which is one of our examples from Crystallize. Getting started.
Scroll down on this page, and because you see here exactly the banner I talked about. It's got a background image, but it's an image, and you got the call for action, title, and description, which matches exactly, just by random what you use.
Just by chance.
Just by chance.
Yeah, and this is of course. Yeah, this is good conversation. We both started at the same time.
Nice thinking.
Yeah. Now, what this is, and of course, I have designed for Crystallize before, so I know what it supports from as default, and that's why we did it like this. That being said, it doesn't mean that it has to be like this. You design and define your content yourself, but we will use the default stuff from the boilerplate. Good summary?
Yeah, but it's the two elements we're going to use here is the banner, which you show now, and also the collection below here. And we're just going to stack these on top of each other. We call them stackables. And that's basically the structure of the website. We will add the products, etc., in a second stream. And you will customize the fold a bit, the title of the conference, etc. But other than that, that will be the one page that we will use.
Exactly. So, without further ado, let's start adding stuff to our tenant.
Yeah.
What we have done, Bård has created a tenant before, which we call React Day Norway. If you would like to create your own tenant, which is free, go to crystallize.com, click create account, and follow the steps. Easy as that.
Very quick, and then you have a backend for your React or React Native or Vue or Next or Gatsby. Or...
And it is 100% free until you reach a certain threshold for orders or orders API. But it is big, so you can play around a lot. Anyway, that was our marketing. Now let's get into what we will actually create, and that is React Day Norway on site. So, like I said, Bård has taken the steps before. He created an account and invited me. What we will be doing now is going to the access token. I need to create a token because I am going to inject the furniture shape, like the content model that Bård showed. We're going to inject that inside of the Next.js boilerplate source code. I'll go here. That's the wrong. Here. Okay, you guys say, can you see my screen? I have.
I think you can, as always, make the font size even larger.
I was about to say that. Always zoom in.
I have zoomed. I am going to work in this,
Yeah,
but
now it looks perfect.
But in this case, Didrik, I suggest you just paste in the tokens, even though you're not supposed to do that live. And I will not tell Mike.
Okay.
And you'll just delete it immediately after you've injected the script. So
Okay, let's do that. Probably people, and you guys can see, we only show the token once. After that, it is in the air, and that's because Mike here likes his security. But it is the proper way to do it.
And you should never ever show your tokens public, like Didrik will do now.
No, so this is bad practice, but I will do it just for this purpose. You know what? I'll actually, first off, I'll fetch the ID. Here, we're not going to use the identifier. We'll use the ID. Here, you can also see your usage. Now recording, not assigning. We'll add the tenant ID here. We'll go into access tokens, generate a new token, and live stream React Norway. Generate. There you can see it. That's token. These are personal, so I'll work quickly now. So, and then we go back to our terminal. Inside of the package.json, we have a command called bootstrap shapes to tenant. We'll run that function. What this will do is inject that content model to our newly created tenant.
So you see, you got banner, you got article, you got collection, and now you can't hijack the tokens anymore. So a little bit of insecurity there, but I guess it's worth showing just to see how and exactly how you're adding the tokens there. But again,
if I'm hacked now, I'm going to blame you, Bård.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
All right.
Maybe
So
we can show that, though, that we have it in the pin, so we have the shapes. So that we expect that, like, you got these shapes created, which of course were cleaned up by I guess Bård before the live stream when he created the tenant to get the new imported ones in.
Yeah, you do get some default shapes, but we just deleted it.
Yep.
And now we can see what we have now is article, collection, banner, product, and folder, which is a collection of these components. So what we will do is create organization. I am going to make a typo here. I'm going to copy it from Figma.
That's always like in the back of our minds when we type on.
Could you zoom in a little bit, Mister?
Good point. I always forget organization.
And this is a very complex shape.
It is a logo, which is an image component, and a euro, like so.
Boom.
So now we added this, which can be a relation to the items in the collection.
Which is how we're going to add the sponsors and the partners.
Exactly. So then let's go back to our localhost. Now I need to start the environment again because I have stopped it while doing the import. There we go. Again, I probably need to start it again.
Yeah, because now you're connected to the furniture.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll reactivate Norway. I just know that this is what it's called, but if you want to check what your tenant identifier is, you go into settings, tenants, scroll to your tenant, and check your identifier. Reactivate in Norway. So we use the.
You can also just click on usage to go directly to the information about your tenant. You don't have to scroll via all the tenants. Just FYI.
It's good that I created the UI because I did not remember that. Okay, yes, you can do that. Click on usage. Here you have Reactivate Norway. You also have your ID. So the ID is for importing, like we just showed. And now we are going to connect to the catalog, which is currently empty. Bonus hours will show how to populate that when I'm done talking. So I'll add a tenant identifier. We'll still use the service API. We're not going to use this now because this is for next time when we are going to actually create a basket and do a purchase. But let's just keep it in there. All right. this also means that I go here and it's still connected, and that's because whenever I do something to an environmental file, I'll need to restart. Okay, there we go. Now we are connected to our React Day Norway tenant. You can see that here.
Okay, so should we then start creating the basic content for the site, not the complete one? Do you want to take a stab at it, Stavros, starting by making a folder, which we'll use for the front page? And the way it is in the React or Next.js boilerplate is that if the folder is called _front page -2021, I think, which is what the Didrik shows. But maybe you share. Do you want to share your screen, Stavros, and create some content, and I can comment on what you're doing? And
while you guys do that, I just want to say I'm going to work a bit in the background just to basically remove some stuff. Like, I don't need the basket and this stuff now, so I'm just going to create or add fonts, add some assets, stuff like this. So we are ready to get cracking when it's my turn.
Nice. So, all right, I can share screen. Sure. So let me just do just that. Didrik can stop sharing, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Then is it, I guess, here?
Yeah, beautiful. All right, I'm sharing. Let me know if you can see it.
I can see your screen, yes.
Beautiful.
But it's not in a focus screen. Let's see if that helps.
Good. Good. I think we're good. Okay. So, all right, I'll do just like Mr. Board said. So I'll create like a folder, which will be our front page for 2021. Yeah.
And the naming there that's just the name it looks for in the boilerplate. You could just change the code there. That's a good all if statement, isn't it?
Yeah. It's always like that. And as you can see, like in the index page in the Next.js app, what you do is basically you fetch basically this path here, which is what it's going to be generated in our structure when we click create and publish, of course. Right. So this is our front page.
And this is where we will use the title of the website, and we will also use this for the title tag on the website. So it's React Day Norway Online. That's what you can call it.
Nice. Not 2021 here, you think?
Well, that's not what the design says. I'm looking at the design in Figma.
Yeah,
because on the next line, Stavros, you have the content which says 9th of June.
Yep.
Actually, it should say June 9th, I think, if we're going to be correct.
Nice.
So just type June 9th, 2021. Enter new line. 12 to well, do we 12:0 to 12:0? Yeah.
Like so. CT. Beautiful. So that's pretty much it. And then I guess these are the stackables.
Yeah. So just publish this guy, and then we need, because we'll add the stackables later. We need to create the just create a folder for banners on top level. Just make a simple information architecture banners, and we know that we will have a couple of banners in there. The first one will be call for papers. So create a banner document there.
So let's do it like that.
Yeah, call for papers. And then I guess cut and paste the code from Figma. So the title should say call for papers, and then the body should be, the text in the, So now we're using Figma as the source of truth for content. Well, why not?
Well, we basically are using Figma for as a mood board. We have everything here in here.
Beautiful.
But link text, that would be call for papers, and then you enter the. I think it's also in Figma, the sheet or the form.
The form?
Yeah, should be there somewhere.
So I have it right here, though. So let me just get the link. It's this guy. Boom.
Yeah.
And
for this banner, we don't have any images. I'm not sure if Didrik, did you want to use the UI hint that we used here for centering the text? So if you go back to
over here.
Yeah.
I read now you guys are far ahead of me, but we can do that because, like you say, you have add text as overlay. We can use that to center align the text for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which is not semantically correct.
No.
It should say something else, but we'll just use it because we want to move fast.
Yeah.
All right. Leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that's the stackable for the call for papers.
Cool. Beautiful. So this is like 2 ones, right?
This is 2, yeah. So you need to save the brain image there, and I'm not sure if Didrik has it as a separate.
Oh, I can send it to you because once again we could use SVGs because it is vector-based graphics, but for the brain and for the good vibes, if you open it inside of the left panel, you can see how much content there actually is there. So sometimes an SVG will actually be bigger and harder for the processor to process than just a good old PNG, which, of course, when you upload to Crystallize, there will be a WebP as well. And soon, Avif, that's the latest, right?
Yeah.
All right. So feel free to send that, Didrik.
But you can start,
if I can just download that here.
You can start creating the banner with brain.
Yeah. I'll do that. So let's do here.
Select the banner.
I'll just go like this, right? So
yep.
Name it like that since we know what's what. All right. Thank you, Didrik.
No problem. No problem.
Oh, I see. Like this guy.
Well, all of them.
I think it's this guy as well. Yeah. Correct. Sorry. Like so.
And here we don't have a call for action. So
that's what I was checking. So neither the first one nor the second. We do overlay here as well.
No.
No. So is it just for the button stuff?
Yeah, for the center text, that's what he wanted to use it for. Or he could use an index, or the different ways.
Yeah.
But you can just publish this guy and create the other banner, right? And then we'll just upload the images once you get it from Didrik.
And publish once more. So this is throwing just an error here because I have not published this guy. Although, you know what? We don't need that.
No.
Published. That is correct. We don't want to show it anywhere anyway. Cool. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. So we got this guy. Another banner. Let's go create.
Good.
Looks good.
Publish it, and then if you at some point get the images from Didrik, you just upload them.
Yep.
I have all the get them source. I sent them to you on Slack.
Yeah. Thanks. Just saw it. So it's.
So this is multi-tool collaboration, right? We're using Figma and Slack and Crystallize and actually Crowdcast for the backend streaming. Yeah.
Two things though before you upload the images here, Severus.
I did already.
Yeah, I'm too late. I'm working on in the background here. But what we should do, and what I usually do and add to my process, is that there are tools online like TinyPNG that has a better compression than Figma when it comes to images. So I would take those images through TinyPNG. I can show it also later on because I need to do the same for my separators, etc. I also, here we go. It's a really good compression tool.
Both guys can be uploaded here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
download.
You see there? We saved 62% of the environment.
Nice. That's really, really nice. So just remove this guy.
Yeah. And of course, we are compressing in Crystallize also, but this kind of, you get to tidy up the resolution and make sure that you don't upload a higher quality image that you actually need. So it's just craftsmanship.
It is. And also on the side note here, because now I'm working on the separators, and I see that since I added the octopus, so I did a performance whoopsie. And that is that we have the octopus behind the cloud. So now I want to have that as a separate separator. So I can't reuse the cloud. So you can see on the left side now.
So basically strike what you said in the beginning, that you could just reverse this in CSS. You can't do that.
Yes, I can't. Maybe another time. Maybe next time.
All right. So we got it. Thanks, Drake, for the input.
And then make I would suggest start a folder where you call sponsors and another one which is called partners. And we will not show uploading all, but we can show you uploading one. So you can start with auth 0. And then I suggest we create the, do one of each so we can create the actual stackables.
Yeah, so I'll just create a single one. Boom. So this is an organization.
Auth 0.
Here we go. And then we need
logo, and the URL is auth0.com. So it's https auth0.com. That's their website. And we can just use this for now and just drop one in each of the collections that we'll make and just show how we create the stackables, just to show the concepts. And then you can load up the right logos in the background because that will take some time.
I'm also going for the logos as well. TinyPNG, if it is an image and not an SVG.
Damn it, I forgot the trick.
I forgot that we're live as well, so you swear don't lie.
Yeah. Pardon. Okay, let's do this one.
So alt text should also be auth 0. So always you'll redo it. But should we create a folder with the stackables also, and just place which is basically banners? Well, let's call it collections, because now we created one for banners, and then create another folder just to have the collections in there. And because we're basically talking about 3 banners as you created, and then we have 4 stackables.
You know what? I will do something on naming. So because we'll probably be when we query like in the front end, when we want to query something and just to display all the sponsors, for instance, we want to be able to query for the sponsors folder children, right? So we need that published, but we don't want that to be shown in like navigation bar.
Yeah, you don't need that actually.
You don't?
No. But anyhow, you don't need underscore because we will not do any listing here. So you can publish this and just create a collection now.
Yeah. All right. So just reminder for me later to just publish the parent folders.
Yeah, you don't need to do that if they're embedded.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
platinum sponsors.
And we'll do just like that.
Yeah, do lowercase on the sponsors maybe.
Yeah. Remember. And let's create all of them.
Yeah, you don't want to add content?
We'll do. Oh, sorry. Damn it. Misclicked.
I think everything is going smoothly this summer.
I feel your eyes on me, Didrik.
Well, I'm not paying attention at all.
Judging.
I'm doing something else.
Judging.
Oh yeah, it's always.
Oh,
Collection.
yeah.
All right.
Feeling the pressure, man.
It's always like that. Let's do this guy.
And then for now, just become a sponsor, become a platinum sponsor. Type that in the text, and make the platinum sponsor a link. And we'll just change the link to the correct one once we go live. But just so that Didrik can style it. https://crystallize.com or
I did this. Yeah.
Something like
I'll
this.
do this one.
Right.
Because it's faster. Boom, like so.
Copy pasting is a clever thing, but don't switch just yet. Add some items.
Like that. Okay. Let's do the.
Click items on the. You need to select.
Oh yeah. This guy.
And then you just add auth 0 here. Just add one. And then you publish it, and you do the same, I guess, with others. And then you can revert back when Didrik takes over, and you just upload the different sponsors and make them pretty. So auth 0 gets a lot of exposure here, which is good. Because they're a gold sponsor. Platinum.
Yes.
No, gold, yeah.
And I'll do the same. Okay.
And what you can see on this collection here is that you have a polymorphic component called content, where you can choose between items as a relation or a grid.
Yeah.
We'll not use grid for React Norway, but this is to make a pretty word.
But it's what we use in the furniture front page.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'll just publish that so that Didrik can query them if he wants to.
Yeah.
All right, they look good.
But add auth 0 to the other guys also.
All right. Oh yeah, true.
Just to have something. Right now there's no platinum sponsors, so we'll remove that later because auth 0 is a gold sponsor. But just to show the system, it's basically the same. Didrik will list it out and I guess basically change the size of the image.
I'll do some stuff.
You need to select first, Perfect.
Beautiful.
And of course, here you can add as many items as you want, but you just created one organization for now. So that's the reason.
Right.
The last part is that we need to create the stackable, because now you created all the individual elements and you created the collections, but on the front page, there is a concept for stackable content. And here you basically start dragging in, I guess you start with the banners, 3 banners. Do call for papers and then brainpower.
Boom.
Yep. And then the next is the sponsors and then the partners.
Like so.
We didn't actually create a collection for partners, so you need to add that also. But drop in the sponsors first.
That's true. So let's do platinum, gold, silver. And partners we don't have yet, but let's go create.
Yeah, just publish it. And create the last collection, I guess, with the partners, so that Didrik has all the... we'll create it on the collection, I guess. Partners
should we just there?
Yeah, and the collections. Just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Because I got some stuff to do.
So this is like this guy.
I don't think we designed with a text. Become a partner. Yeah.
See,
it looks beautiful on my end now.
What do you say, Didrik?
It's looking beautiful on my end.
That's good. Click on an item also, Stavros, so he gets the last thing there. Just do Alt 0 for now. And
so it's here, or
sponsors, I guess.
There.
Cool. And then, of course, now, while Didrik starts the front end, there's quite some logos and links to add. So what do you say, Didrik? Is it ready for you to take over on the front end to show? Because now this was just information architecture and loading up some content. We used the standard shapes and added just the organization. And of course, the folder structure we created, it's up to how you want to have that organized, because we're just going to fetch the front page and the content on the front page anyway. So it's the stackable, which, by the way, did you add the partner stackable to the front page already? That's the last part, I guess.
Oh, yeah, correct.
I guess that's the last part of the structure of the front page. So it's basically quite simple with this concept of stackable. So it's the text from the folder, and then we have call for papers, etc., and down to the partners. And that's the dynamic content that will end up rendering the conference website.
And this will be, of course, updated when we do, when we, of course, remove call for papers and have, the speakers and the schedule or the agenda.
And so add the product to buy a ticket with the 1,000 limitations. Yep.
Looks good. Nice. So maybe I'll go create some more. Or Didrik, you want to share?
Yeah. Let me. Give me.
Just making sure that I'm not, sharing on top of what you're sharing.
I know I can share. I can figure this out while talking.
Doing some practice.
Well, you actually need to stop sharing.
Okay.
Did you leave? That is perfect.
So we lost Stavros, but at least you can share the screen now, Stavros.
Stavros too. That's me. Yes. What I have been doing while you guys have been talking is basically just to clean it up from the starting point, the Furniture starting point. I can see that Stavros did not populate this banner with my illustration, which is something that we can do. But here you can see all of the stackables that you have created are actually welcome back, Stavros. Actually here on the front page now.
Intentionally leaving the chat.
But Didrik, there's no this illustration on the call for papers. It's the fold you're talking about now, I think. But the fold you have to fetch from the folder.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. I didn't pay attention. But yes, so here you can see the call for papers banner that you guys have added. We also do have the brain power on. It just looks a bit different than what I have designed, but I guess that's up to me. And we have the platinum sponsors. Oh, here you can actually see. It's getting there. I did do some. I'll show what I did. We have a collection with one sponsor, and the same goes for everything here. Yeah, so it looks like I have some work ahead of me. I think we just need to
start at the top.
We will start at the top here. What I have done while you guys have been talking, I've added some styling, like you see from Figma here. We had some outline to this text, which is basically a CSS hack, where we are going to use shadow, text shadow, or the text shadow property in different directions to create this outline, which is, now I need to zoom in again, I guess. Add Roboto. I have added Roboto as well. That's
maybe you can zoom
I'd say
even more.
A bit. Yeah.
This is going to be hard to work in.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
You need to walk further away from your screen. It's like.
I'll sit over here.
Great. So, like,
welcome back,
as Diederik is, yeah, thank you. Of course, it was intentional to just leave, rather than stop sharing. But like in the background now, I'll just create a few more of the sponsors and partners. Right?
Yeah, you all guys need to talk while I start this or warm up for this stuff. I won't manage to talk.
Looking good, Diederik.
Thank you.
We'll be cheering up.
So right now, Diederik is looking for where to modify the code, and he's not totally sure where he's going.
That's exactly what's happening. I've been away for 3 weeks, okay? But we'll get there soon. We'll get warm in.
but maybe because you're probably looking at the folder where you're going to add some content at the top. Just get the title and the description, so you can add also the illustration on the folder.
Almost. What I really wanted to find now was where we had the colors. But you know what? We're not going to be fancy today. Today, we're just going to make it work.
Yep.
But what we are going to do is, as you can see, since we have added a folder inside of Crystallize, we have this front page showing, which is here. And this is telling that, okay, for the front page, as path, get front page 2021. So what we could do here, if you guys had chosen another name, is to rename this to React Norway Day Online Front Page 2021, whatever. And by doing so, we can also add multiple pages for next year, for example. But what we are going to do is follow what we basically are doing here, and it is inside of page components, folder, index. We are rendering the folder shape inside of layout, and layout is a wrapper that is wrapping the whole web page. And this is what we render every time there is a folder shape, basically. So now just explicitly, and this is default. I have told the front page root to render a folder shape. And now you guys take over, because now I need to focus.
Yeah, I guess the first part is to show some of the content which is not displayed on the front page now. So probably Diederik is going to figure out how to add the title and the description from the folder on the front page, because you see on the top here you have the header, the React logo, and then you have the call for papers. But we actually in the design have a section in between, and that's probably where Diederik wants to add some content now. And where Stavros added this was actually on the folder, which is now called Front Page 2021, which again, rename it to what makes sense. Or do as everybody else, just leave it.
Exactly like we did it now.
And basically to get the content from there, you're looking at two components in the folder, which is probably called, and I can look up actually what it's called. Now I'm going in the back end of Crystallize, and it's called title and brief. And those are the two elements that basically Diederik wants to fetch. I think because he has an illustration on top of the design, my gut feeling is that for now we'll just hard code this because it won't change anyway. So we're not going to make this editorial. We're going to make this as part of the design. Same as the waves and the octopus, I guess, squid.
Yeah.
So
what I see here is that what I really want, I need, I guess, the identifier for the components.
Yeah. Do you want the identifiers or?
Well, let's just use name. I see that we use name here already.
Yeah, but both it's title capital T and brief capital B for the name of the two components. And one is a text line, and the other is a rich text component.
Just because I've used Crystallize before, I know that content text isn't that what it said. Always just use here title. Select a Norway online. There we go. And what we basically do is we go into the folder. Well, I can't explain everything. You guys can explain it out.
Yeah, just fix it. So basically here, so we're not necessarily following all of the best practices in terms of structuring your code, because typically when you make a shape in Crystallize, you want it to have a specific component to render. So the folder for the front page, since we're going to make an exception for that, in an ideal environment where you have a whole day to make a website, you would probably create a separate component, and you would check on the what we call shape identifier. So that means that actually you can create components that you can reuse between projects also. But what Didrik is doing is just adding 2 variables as he needs it to the top of the standard folder component, which is basically checking on the shape type, which in Crystallize you have product, you have folder, and you have document. So any folder type, as you can make many folder types, or many document types, many product types, will use the same components with this setup. But anyhow, he's just now adding the 2 variables, one for the title and another one for the brief. And I guess right now he's debugging with some CSS in addition.
I feel like a football player where it's commentary. Let's wait and see what he's doing next. Which is really cool. I love it.
Yeah.
What I am basically trying to do now is, you see now I'm removing the boxes, or basically the margin in here, because I am going to restructure a lot of the content here.
Or let's see. As we say, he's doing CSS stuff, what I said. But actually we have a comment from, it's a comment a while back where I guess we're focused on the stream, guys. We have some comments. And of course we have a question on the quality from Jan, but actually with the streaming service we're using now, we're using Crowdcast, which we're also evaluating for the actual React Norway conference. We are not able to stream in 1080 because we are joining from multiple locations. If we would be in the same location, we could stream in 1080, because then we can use OBS Studio or our Blackmagic mixing table. But if you have any suggestion on services that supports, like a Zoom or a Hangout, where you have attendees that can join and ask questions, etc., and also can stream in 1080p, we would be super happy to hear some suggestions. But right now we're using crowdcast.io, and we're streaming that directly to YouTube. But we had a comment on the weird logo that we use, or the weird creature, if it's a fish or what. But Anthony suggests that it is actually the coronavirus.
I said that the other day. Didrik, remember? When we saw that, I said that it looks like Corona.
In our defense, we did design this in 2019. Maybe it's a conspiracy.
What's the virus called again? What the year did it? Okay, 2019. Yeah.
Oh snap! Exposed. Next up, we're going to be in a documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I was almost in the zone. What I need to do is I'm just removing some margins here for like here. This is what I want to remove. There we go. You can see that I have some body resets to do, but I'll do that later. Let's not achieve perfection.
Yeah, and this is also, again, as Stavros and me would say, he's doing CSS stuff.
This is front-end stuff.
I would really like for you guys to comment and have a commentary on what I'm doing in CSS.
You do pretty stuff.
That's good enough.
So yeah. now is adding a background.
Good stuff.
So I'm almost done with the collections here. I'm adding sponsors, and I will add the partners now. Just updating the collections that we have in Crystallize. And I think when Didrik fetches that, he should be getting all of these properly. So we got Crystallize.
And now Didrik is just looking for where is that margin or border or padding, which makes it white on the side. That's what he's poking around with. Because he wants to have yellow background all over, and no, there's a thin white line, and now we got the left side.
And this looks like it looks like it's going to take forever, but we will get there. Trust me. It's just getting used to this again.
Yeah, so we are still on placing the first element on the page, which is the logo.
Yeah. That's it. We'll get there. We'll get there. As you see, I have removed a lot of code already because it is the boilerplate is full featured. So now I have removed a lot of the block that I don't need for this one page. I am going to have a max width of 1600. This I know. That's just because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, let's make a famous. Well, it's not famous yet, but let's make a statement. 1600 pixels is plenty enough for everyone.
Enough pixels for everybody. There we go. Simply better already. We managed to central line it, and I am going to, and preferably we would use this as a variable, and it is already variables inside of this project. But like I said, we are going to create MVP. We're going to mush this out, get and fetch content from Crystallize. So I'm not going to care about code perfection today.
But you have to make it responsible at some point, but not during this stream.
Not responsible, but responsive.
What he said.
Okay, now we're just talking because I go. Now we're gonna do it.
All right. Okay, I think we're good there. So, Didrik, do you want for the front page the illustration? Will you import it straight from code, or is it?
Yeah, I think he will do it from code.
Okay.
Yeah, I think let's make this easy.
Good. Let's do.
And now he's making some style components.
I am. It's like a wildlife documentary. It's a unicorn in the wild.
This is a unicorn in the wild, literally.
You know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to import. I guess we already have it. I'm not going to use shape components, but what I am going to use is a second. They do have content transformer. So you guys?
Sure, you're not using shape components for the stackable? Well, I guess you know better than me, but...
Not what?
Strike that. I saw that you had the stackables imported.
Oh, the stackables area. Almost. I'm going to spread description on my transformer, and it's going to fail. That's it. I thought the transformer was a thing. This here. Helix. Okay. So what this means that is, do we have anything inside of the description?
It's called brief.
Yeah, no, but my constant is, I named it the description.
Yep.
There we go. Paragraph. Yeah. I guess that should work. Or am I missing something? Yeah, that helped. I'll forgive it.
So I think like the good part of how we have built the different types of content in Crystallize, like partners and sponsors, although they're like different, let's say, categories, they're gonna be following the same pattern when Dietrich will call that, right? This board. So I guess that you just need to resize a few things and that's from a non-CSS guy perspective. Of course, it's different.
Yeah, I think Didrik will either use the name or he will use the index, because in the stackable, you know the order of things. So in this case, because we're not going to make the website totally generic, so you can drag and drop and make it look exactly the way you want. We're just going to implement exactly what he designed. And the thinking there is we can use absolute indexes in the CSS. He knows, call for papers is first, should be white background and image before, image after, etc., and build it like this. So I think that's the strategy that he's going for.
Wow. Let me see. Wait, soon. It is there.
So, and of course, whenever you're building a front end like this, it's totally normal. I mean, of course, you catch errors like this, and it's about how to debug it. And it's best to debug while two people watching and you're streaming live on the internet. That's the
always is.
That's the best.
I am getting on the side here that Content Transformer, the new version, is actually changed.
Oh,
while I was away.
Yeah, Håkon actually released the Content Transformer, I think on Monday or quite recently. So are you getting help from Håkon or?
Yeah, I did, but then he stopped responding. So Håkon, please help.
Yeah, but anyhow, we'll
you
just
know what?
we know that
also
9th of June 2021.
9th of June.
Yeah.
But I'll have to use Content Transformer later on, so this I'll need to figure out. And you know what? We got this already. So if I were smarter than what I actually am, I could just go in here and take a look.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
like that, giving up and then figuring out the solution. That's
isn't that always how to do it? And then again, I'm trying to talk while speaking, or trying to think while speaking. Here we go. This is the way. So now I just need to see inside of here.
What was the difference?
I have no idea. That's the beauty of it. Oh, here we go.
Nice.
Well, this should be the same. I guess I have to add the JSON. Hooray! There we go.
And the Content Transformer, this is a helper React function that basically takes the structured rich text in Crystallize, which you can retrieve as HTML, which, by the way, you could have done and to avoid transforming it to HTML, just FYI. You can get it as plain text, and typically you want to get it as JSON, because then you can do anything you want with the formatting. And if you go back to the beginning when Didrik designed the bullet list as a stack of cards, that's an example where you would have, of course, you could have used CSS, but you could also injected the in the Content Transformer so that you could render the list items maybe with a div or something else than a bullet list. So this is basically what the content transformer does: transfers a JSON, structured rich text, to HTML.
Exactly. So now,
And we did, and also Didic has been away for 3 weeks because he just got a baby. So we were, of course, very nice by changing the way that content transformer works while away, and not telling him before he was going to show it live on the live stream.
Surprises.
yes, that was good, but we got there, and of course, people that do develop, they know that this is not straightforward what we do. Well, it should be adding content, yeah. But we are here at least.
Beautiful.
Good. Okay, I can still see that this font is a bit wrong, and my guess is that this is because inside of UI headings, H1, let's remove this. It's 900, wasn't it? Let's see. Then I need to just start debugging fonts as well then. This is not going smoothly. We'll take it up later. I think that is hard. We're going to do that last. Do the good stuff. First off, I just want to get to all the sections, show the stackables. I'm just going to
go for it.
Go for it.
So we can also be silent watching the unicorn in the wild.
In his natural habitat.
My natural habitat. Awkward silence.
No, it's not awkward at all. This is you teaching us stuff.
So far, I don't feel like I've teached. How do you bend display?
So now he's doing more CSS stuff, similar to what he did before, but now he's doing different CSS stuff.
Already I see I need some inner section here to wrap my content. And this is something we can reuse for all the section, I guess.
And this is to set the width, I would assume, so that you could keep the text
exactly
a little bit centered on the screen. And
then of course we have to go there. Better.
Yeah.
Better. You still see we have some outlines, and I guess that is the global reset.
That is probably the global reset. And
see. You know what? I'm just going to remove it. We don't need it. I'm having a bit of trouble navigating as well because the resolution. But enough excuses. Let's get this stuff done.
You know, when you change one thing and it goes back to being not so great. Developer life.
Now I feel I did delete something. What did I just do? Anyhow, how's the weather?
It's actually getting pretty bright here.
Okay, here we go.
did you add everything the same inner thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay.
Maybe Stavros, maybe you could show briefly just the collections that you did in the PIM.
Developer life.
Boom. No problem.
Easy. Easy enough.
But the whole goal with what you did there was to try to remove the thin white line between the top and the fold.
But I think I need just to focus on getting this out.
Nice. So just another thing that is, yeah. I'll stop speaking, trying to speak CSS. This is not my field.
I see that I don't load the fonts, so this is something that we also need to fix. But it's one thing at a time. Now we are going to add the artifacts.
And at this point, contributions are also welcome in terms of code for loading the fonts.
But we will manage to do it. I think I know it, but yeah, I'll stop talking again because I lose my head every time I start talking. I lose my track of where I am. It's almost that I'm going to mute my phone, mute my microphone.
Yeah. But this is, I think it's with the unicorns there. They know how to design, and this is kind of what we're proving today, because it's the point of a unicorn developer is that they design and they code, but they can't do that while speaking. So that's the problem with the unicorn. It's a brilliant, and I'm not sure if you can call it an animal, but the unicorn is a brilliant animal, but they can't do design, code, and speak at the same time. So this
can do only two of these at the same time. Select two, and then it does that.
Yeah, and I guess in our context, it's better to have the code happening on screen as well as the design happening, and then have him be silent. But now he's working on inserting the clouds.
So I guess basically, like the artifact is basically the exported image, cloud image, right?
Yeah. So this is so it's a separator, and typically with our previous design it was just a wave, and now it's a more complex cloud, which is exported as a PNG, and is placing that just after the fold, and then the next element that he will be working on is then the banner, which has, it's the gradient background, etc. And he's just going to change the styling of it, because I think all of the content is there with the title, the description, and the call for paper. I don't remember if the call for paper link was there already. So
yeah, the link should be there.
Yeah, you added the link to the banner, and of course that's the content that in this case comes from Crystallize via the GraphQL API.
So we got the fold. Ish. We are going to make it better, but it's a logo. Title fetched from Crystallize. You can also try to type in something else for us, just to show that this will change. We have the image, which I added statically, and also the paragraph collection that I had some trouble rendering with the content transformer, because somebody changed it while I was away, and I didn't pay attention.
Well.
So what we are going to do now is going to jump on the stacks, which is, of course, here. So now I'm going to be silent again and start working.
It's like if you watched the tested show online. It's like when he's going to work in Concentrate, he's doing a time lapse, and then there's music. But right now we can't do it. I'm not sure if we're able to do a time lapse when we're live.
No, I don't think so.
We're talking about the montage like Rocky does before he's going into a fight. That's exactly what we are doing.
Training the finger.
Cue the music. Okay, now I gotta get into it.
Go for it. So basically,
okay.
a couple of papers is there's no background image, title text, and
But while Didrik is focusing, should we look at the end result in the backend in the PIM UI? Stavros, maybe share if Didrik stops sharing and you share the screen, and just to look at because all of the logos and what you did with the collections. And if you click share screen and not exit. Good.
Yeah, I successfully did that. I mean, they not sharing the screen. So stop sharing is the problem here. So, all right. So what I've done is that I just created a few more sponsors, like ourselves, and of course, Balsamic Cognite and Kelder Dynamics, which I just saw now that I have a typo. Beautiful. Same goes for partners. So as you can see, they're following the same shape, just a logo and URL, so that Didrik, when he fetches that, he can, of course, he will be checking what their position are in their collections, in their respective collections, so that he can, let's say, hard code, but handle the sizing and the styling in the front, depending on probably naming.
Or index. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, or index. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, either or. Maybe we can. And that's pretty much it. It was, of course, as people probably know, that you can just drag and drop like we showed, right? To set up the proper sponsors here. So gold, silver, and platinum. Same goes for partners. And this list will be expanding as we go on. So you can see now that I have not added all the partners here. Of course, we can go on and create all the partner listing like we have in the original or the last year's React Norway page. We'll do that. And basically, so the nice thing about the way that we structure that is that, all right, if I continuously or like every time fetch the sponsors or the partners in my front page, then I will get an updated list of which ones have been added since, right? So if we add like someone tomorrow, it'll be popping up in Didrik's website. No problem.
It's dynamic.
Yeah,
it's magic.
it's dynamic. Exactly. So that's what's up in the backend. It's pretty simple, but pretty clean as well.
But also, right now we made it quite fragmented. We could have made it less fragmented with concepts like we could have made it just one shape in Crystallize with repeating chunks and defining the structure there. But we just wanted to reuse the components that are default in the boilerplate and trying to get the solution that gives us the conference website in the least amount of time. That was the goal here. And then someone decided that let's do that live while streaming.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
This will go well, but
But okay, so should we go back and take a look at the unicorn in action in his little, what do you call it? Wild habitat.
Natural habitat.
Natural habitat. We're closing in on 2 hours, Didrik. 2 hours.
Oh, we have lots. Okay, I was starting to stress because I thought it was 3 hours almost. So, okay, lots of time. Then I'll actually go take, I need to go to the toilet quickly. So you guys make conversation. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Make conversation?
Yeah, we should have what is it called? Like a splash screen, like a waiting screen, like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Some music, some elevator music. I'll be right back.
But if you have the Figma open,
like so,
we could just revise this a little bit while Didrik has a pit stop.
Yeah. So nice. I think like we're pretty much done with this section. It's right. So it's just some CSS styling. So if I understood correctly, and of course I'm swimming outside my whatever waters, as you can, I don't know how the phrasing goes, but it's basically like, if I understood correctly, there's like an outside div here that we need to revise or remove.
Yeah, I think there's the between the top and the fold.
Yeah, exactly.
Additionally, it's loading the right font, because now I think it folds back to Times New Roman or something, it seems like. So it's not Robotoslab, and that's what we want. I guess we also need to add the Twitter icon there and the link
it's
to
this
the
guy
Twitter.
with a link, and if we look into this guy, so add an action, call for action there.
But other than that, we also had, and of course the separator or the artifact, that's just a bitmap, so it's a PNG. And what Didrik was working on now was the call for paper section, which is a banner, as you showed in the back end. And that's a very reusable element, because it's got some options in terms of, you can add media, you could add a call to action. So that could be rendered as a button or a link or whatever you want. And you have the possibility of adding in some description there. And this is, as we looked at, that element will be reused, but it will be styled differently. And of course, he, for simplicity, he decided to use this styled in 3 different ways. Just the centered text with no illustration and a call to action, and left align and right align text with the illustration on each end. So there's some CSS work to do that. Yeah. So if we stop sharing the screen now, Stavros, and send it back to the Mr. Didrik, and let's see what's up with the code at this point.
All right, we'll take a look. I'm not going to hang up.
Don't do that. But don't do that. I tried it already. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and here you can see I've actually added the proper text. That was the thing I did before I went to the toilet. And that was just adding into the layout component in here.
So you zoomed out the text again, of course, and we don't see anything.
Yes, I do that when I'm not sharing, just because it's so much harder to navigate like this. So yeah, here I added Google Fonts.
But even zoom a little bit more on the text, I would say, if we can see it clearer on the screen.
Like so.
Yeah.
Well, here I did add Google, or the proper implementation of loading fonts. So I am going to continue, so you guys small talk.
Or we can just watch. We don't have to comment on everything. Because truth to be told, Stavros and me don't really know what you're doing.
All right, that's what we will do then. Is we just see I need to go into the stackable component here. We'll check what we get in here. So that we really do want here is, here we have the name. I am wondering if we should fetch the ID here, since the name can change.
The ID, but you're getting now the We're using the stackable. So I think you can do,
We're using the name of the key.
Index. Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm just thinking, you know what? This is just going to be for display purposes, so let's not be too clever. Once again, you guys just need to remind me all the time not to be too clever. I'm just going to make this work.
Just be yourself, Didrik.
Oh, stupid. Okay.
Oh, now we're talking. Now he's adding the good old if statement.
This you know, board. And like I said, I would probably do something that the name here should probably, and this is the name of the item or the object inside of Crystallize. I actually managed to save first. Hello. There you go. So now I know that, okay. This is where we're going to add, this is where I'm going to add the octopus and etc.
But in the stackable, do you have an index for each position, or?
Well, of course, because it's basically just mapping. So if you go here and stack render it, you see here.
Because I'm thinking if you have the index for the stack, is it not better just to use that? Because
if this is the first one.
Yeah, because if Stavros decides to change the title "Call for Papers," because last day call for papers,
Yeah, but that's why I said let's get the identifier instead. But then I was starting to be too clever again.
Yeah, I understand.
Also, again, but we can always do that because that shows how you can modify the graph or the calls, basically, which we haven't done yet.
Yeah, but they're all the identifiers will be the same because the identifier on the shape is the same. It's 3 banners, so that won't help you much.
True.
So I think the index in the stack is the easiest way.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to go since we did since we used the same stuff in the backend.
For you to say. And go index because we just need the props all the way down to banner. Yeah, stack. Yeah, item collection down to banner.
Nice.
That should show something. There we go. It shows twice because I'm rendering it twice. So here, let's say if the index
equals call for paper.
0. All right.
Nice.
We are on the first. That means that if we add something before this, we will break the design, and that's why I wanted something else. But let's just go for this. It's the clever, not clever. It's the not cleverest way of doing it.
But it's while doing it, in a couple of hours, it's limited how clever you can be, right? And this is not an exercise in best practice or perfect code or anything. This is getting stuff done and get it out online. And this is a conference website that will also live for a limited amount of time. And it's a community effort. It's about sharing best practices, getting people to talk about proper React code and best practices in React Native also, for that matter. So
probably need to change at some point. Because this is not responsive. But anyhow, we're getting some lines here. Sorry for all the ups and downs when it comes to scrolling, but just
well,
that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know. You know what? Once again, too clever. This is always going to be text align center. Just that it's like that. Once again, I'm using inline styles whatsoever, and it's not even working, which is even better. But and my guess is that because the content transformer is actually doing something here. Yeah, of course we are adding a paragraph. So what we really need to do is say the text line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is getting worse. Oh, that's right.
Beautiful.
So you can add a div directly in style components. I didn't know that.
Oh, but no, this is not style components. This is rendering the JSX. So what I'm doing here is just add plain old regular HTML.
Mm.
It's the same as if instead of adding a div, I could add H2, like so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally valid. The only thing style components does is, well, what it says, it adds style as a component. Right, let me, once again, here we are. I think we should add some padding to the in here. So, now we need to look at the design again. We have a call to action. Some duplicates here. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. So just to review once more, what we have is basically pretty much similar code. I won't say the same because you will get upset, Didrik. It's pretty similar, but just styling it differently depending on its position in the array, so its index.
Yeah. Didn't listen all that well, but I said yes.
Yes. Good.
Good talk, like you always say. Once again, I'm just using colors directly.
Yeah. And of course, you should have used CSS variables and have them centrally located so that you can, change the colors when you reuse this next year.
Yes.
But this is also a case of don't do as we do, do as we say.
Even sizing stuff, I think 18 pixels will be what is here. Yeah. But it does look like something out of Figma, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I said, I will also do all the responsive stuff. But here you can see, okay, what have we done here?
Oh, so this is responsive things. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just because this. Oh yeah, I know. I actually set for.
Oh, you don't set it in the bottom. Anchor it.
Well, what's actually happening here is that I think I set for the fall. I think I used min height 100. Like so. There you can see, once again, some responsive stuff, but we'll fix that. Okay, what we will do now is add this here as a section, like I talked about. And I've already prepared it and added it to the public folder, so I can access it through the same way I did for the fold picture.
Mm-hmm.
Where banner once again. Here we are. A special case. Perfect. Somewhere in the world, Håkon is tearing his eyes out from my code here. So I'm sorry, Håkon. But like we always do, I'll just send it to you and you'll fix it later.
I like that you're not using copy pasting to get the URL, typing it because living dangerously, living in the edge.
Oh yes.
It's cool.
Let's see how it goes. No, it's not an artifact actually. It's a.
No,
you want to explain what I'm doing now?
So it's actually adding a descriptive alt text, which is quite rare to see that people are adding descriptive alt text when they're adding artifacts and design elements, because typically they don't get an alt text, which is not good. You need to be semantic.
And ta-da!
What?
Beautiful.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was this section. Kind of works. Beautiful thing when we did it like this is that this is going to scale easily for everything. Like so. Looks it's a bit small on mobiles, but this is something we can figure out. Next up is the brain power on, and here it's also once again we're going to work on indexes because we need to differentiate once again on how the color is or how the layout is.
And now he's adding an if statement, so he's going to check if
remember to add 2 or 3. Remember to add both for 2 and 3, or 1 and 2. Sorry.
1 and 2, I think.
Yeah. But it doesn't even work like that. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, why not?
Good.
Hello.
Well,
That's
that's
work.
Yeah, that will not work exactly, because there's nothing that is strictly above 1 and strictly below 0. You know.
so
it's
Didrik,
greater than 0, and yeah, or that.
Okay.
But that's good.
I seem to forget something.
But what about not being too clever?
Isn't this okay? Is that not clever enough?
Looks good. It's pun
I thought that was
intended.
perfect. Okay, I'll just keep going. I'll pretend you didn't say anything.
So I guess now that's like what you'll do is, all right. Okay, depending on the index, you'll just place things mirror, kinda.
You seem to have some more to say. Outer, where are you? There. Get away, all of you. Better. Okay. Once again, we'll fix all the outlines. That's just some. Once again, it's global resets and boxing and margins. What we were working on
was the brain power on section.
Yeah, mine seems to be off.
You know, it's yeah. Sorry.
I'm also using the H1, but it will not render as H1, and that's because I only do this because I want all the styling, I want the outline. But then I am telling style component that I want this H1 as an H2. And then I'm overriding size, and now I am going to override the color, because here it is pink. What we really do want is, once again, the sandy color here.
I think this feels really like a good practice to have a style component called H1, and you render it as H2, because...
Yeah. I usually, and this is just because this is how we have it here, usually I have something called a title.
That would make sense.
Yeah. This is just because I started out with this boilerplate, and then we have explicit different styles for each of the different tags. So usually, since it's such a complex style with all the outlines, etc., I would use the title. Once again, not the best. It's not best practices we're doing here. It's time to market. Okay. The old content transformer was like this. That you actually did spread it directly on the content transformer. But in the new version that was released, I guess, in the last couple of weeks, you specify that, okay, this is JSON, for example. And here we go. See that since I have the inner now. Close enough. Just really does not want to comply. Okay, once again, I can go back to the design. I forget.
No, it looks pretty close.
Yeah, getting there.
It's always nice when you get a comment from a backend developer. That looks pretty close. Let's ship it.
You know you're on the right path.
Then you know there's plenty of more work in styling.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in my eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's the joke.
Yeah.
It really is. Here we go.
But actually, next time we could just save the Figma design as a big PNG and load that.
Well, it's going to be a pretty long alt text, isn't it? If you want to index it. See, I'm getting confused as well because this is a bit messy.
You don't say.
Yeah, it's too zoomed in, and it's too. So I'm just making it work now. We can talk about best practices another time. Next, the up for the next stream will be Håkon fixing my mess. We'll make it work. Yeah, I want.
So what he's trying to figure out now is how to move the images to the left and right, because that's what he designed. If he would have been a little bit more lazy, he would have just designed the sections with images on the same side, because then the styling would be exactly the same. But no, we want to have 3 different stylings for the same type of component.
It was a half an hour design. Let's see. Okay, but we will get there, I promise.
Mm-hmm. We have faith.
Because what we need now is, since we added the banner content, outer, inner banner content, H1, so bad. Let's just go for it. Then we'll add this up here. Here we have a lot of stuff that we can just delete because it confuses me. Here. Perfect. We'll add the image to the banner content. Oh, this is bad. That's not what we want to do. Here. This is not supposed to be like this. Can be long.
So, Didrik, what's your thinking on the guys that says that CSS is not programming?
Well, good question. Well, it can be now because it's functional styles, basically. And when I say functional, is that everything here is merged together. That, yes, it is just properties to tell a container how it should look. But if I were to say, and I can do this now because I am in between it, the inner, I want it to be display flex at some points, but not always. So if I go add a property here, I could say it's flex sample. I can say that display flex. No. Like this. Now, a bad example. I should have gone background instead because it's easier to see. Let's go. Here. Background. Okay, I forgot to close this.
And of course, now you sidetracked with an example of CSS with variables, right?
I want to do this takes forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this was functional.
Thank you for the example, Didrik.
No problem. I'll get back to it. You guys talk about something else than CSS.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
You see that?
Insane.
Yeah, so what I basically did was just everything is display flex, but some of the sections are with a column property and the others are just rows. So next up is going to be this thing that the board has been so concerned about, that okay, we want this to be that way and this to be the other way.
How do you do that?
So,
I guess
I'll show you.
Reverse property on index.
See that I have actually. Okay, so this is still centralized, which is good. What we need to do now is for these guys. Once again, curse content. Oops. Did I include? I got something called this from style this. Oh. It's once again, it's just if sentence. If I named it wrongly here. And so that was almost what we wanted. What did it actually say? What? Nothing? No comment? No applause? Nothing?
That's good. So you basically use the Flexbox and reverse the Flexbox rendering, whatever that is.
Yeah, but I'll make it easier to understand also for myself.
But if I look at the design, it looks a bit reversed. Okay.
Yes. All right, so we did that. Next up, I also just need to center align all the content here.
Text color on the paragraphs.
So that. I hate that complete. It's just like autocomplete on iOS. Yeah, this is looking better. Text color, that's what we're saying. Yeah, you can see we actually have a description field. See this? Okay, color. Oh, there we go. That did not do anything, which was
But is it white? It is. I check Figma. You made it white. So what's the temperature in Athens now, Stavros?
Bright. As you can
I
see.
can see that. Yeah.
Try to hide from the sun. It's getting pretty bright. I think it's just Didrik's design, you know.
Probably. Other content. This is just for this. So here we'll target this stuff. I see myself that this code is so bad that this will need to to revisit. There's a lot of stuff just to make things work. That's how are we doing on time? Are we going to manage this under 3 hours?
Almost.
Yeah, it's 2:35 that you spent now.
You know, Didrik, what do I see there? Okay.
Oh, it's up.
It's okay.
There you go. You wait.
Because then the question will always be, how long does it take to design and build and deploy a website? Well, 3 hours.
3 hours, exactly. You know what? I'll also good on you. I have to complete. Good work like that. Color. So, what's that? Good. Getting there, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to see some sizing. Okay, good. Oh, we got a left scroll. That's also something you can figure out. But you see that all of the sections here get this outline.
And why is that? Is that the global thing you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess it is. That's my guess, at least. Or maybe it's just this border. Oh, well.
Well, that helped there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 2 borders.
Might be. Border section even. Yeah. We'll fix that. I'm not going to start debugging now on the stream because we need to go get on the 3 hours, but now we have the collections up, right?
Yep.
Because this is looking okay. Bit of a big leap here. What we will do now is to also add, let's since we're working on indexes, once again, I'm going to add a fragment here. I am going to say that if that's not the way you do it. It only happen once. This is just because we use stackable and I want it on the end because here I want to once again have a artifact, and we want that outside of. You can actually put it inside outer here, just to make it tidy. And take the artifact once again. What this does is just make sure that the image is properly resized. Don't have any more questions in the comments?
Not a single one.
Oh, I guess this is going so smoothly. Let's see. Artifacts.
But I could ask the question from Stavros, why don't you use cut and paste of the image name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, looks proper. Broke static artifact.
So why don't you use a copy and paste of the path?
I'll do it. I know why.
PNG. Could have told you.
And here we get a beautiful pink border. Oh, let's do this instead. Almost. Right, like this. This should make it work.
But you're just proving what I'm saying, that you can solve most things with an if statement or more.
Yeah. Yes, you can. And you can solve it. I don't say that it's maintainable, but you can. Because we are going to use more if sentences as well here now that we're going into collection and different sizes. And I guess, right, because here we have a lot of images. So this is just relations. So, well, let's see if we can make this pretty as well. Except for all the borders that we are getting here, I think this will, to some extent, look like what we have designed.
Yeah,
That's
pretty. It's super close.
Yeah, I don't think it's too shabby.
Yep, I actually like the fish/virus on cloud thing.
Don't call this dude the COVID virus.
No.
Poor guy, poor thing. Let's see. Okay, so this was the banner, and the way that the banner was selected was because of the shape identifier. Once again, if we navigate into pages, not pages, I mean components, we have the stackable, and it's just a big switch statement stating that, okay, if what is getting from the stackable is a banner, here's the content, we fetch the content because we know it, we define the shape, and we put it out to banner. So what we are going to do now, we know that these guys are inside of an item collection. So what we're going to work on now is the collection.
Yeah, item collection.
Yeah.
Make sure you have like the index passed.
Yeah. The reasoning behind item collection and grid collection is legacy. Before we used to call it item collection and grid collection because we didn't have the choice component. But since we do have the choice component now, we only have one shape called collection. So in here, we'll pass the index because really that's the only way I managed to differentiate between things today.
Yeah, but we'll pass it on the other one underneath it.
True. Because what I did was I did it on the.
Yep.
But maybe you should also pass the URL because you know that the URL will be part of the collection items for now. So the component URL we added to the new shape we added in the collection, which was the organization.
You know what? I need to take a look. I didn't pay attention when you guys did stuff.
I'll take a look. Yeah.
Inside here, we have the organization shape, which has two components, logo and URL. So this is already here. because we passed down items.
Oh, you passed items. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strike that.
I confused myself.
Mhm.
Let's go into item collection here. And here we do have a lot of functionality that I guess we don't need today, because we are going to redesign this a bit. Here we have all the sliding stuff. So just to keep my head clear, we'll remove some stuff like this.
And now he's just removing some stuff.
He's removing the slider functionality because he's not going to be creating carousels.
Yeah. He just wants the title, the description, and then we just want the image and stack the cards. And we're going to use the URL, which is added there also for the link on the image. So that you can click on the sponsors and go to Auth0, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually managed to do that without breaking it.
That was when I saw you removing stuff. I was like,
I was concerned.
Yep. I was like, red screens popping up.
And the item collection, I'm not going to explain this before. I'm now just removing a lot of functionality just because we're going to redesign it basically to a grid. Oh, looks like something. Okay, good. So the idea here is that we have the title inside here, Platinum Sponsors. It is this, which is a rich text once again, and then we have all the related organizations. So what I need to do here, since I know that this, for now, is only organization, it's only logos, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shape all the way.
All the same.
Just all the same.
URL and just the logo.
I'm going to say that this document shape item, we're just going to redefine it here.
And of course, if you're doing this properly with the more generic setup, you would create one component based on the shape, the type of document that you have, and you would, check on the shape. But right now we know it's only an organization that we have and that we're using, so it's just doing it in the main file.
Exactly. I'm taking all the shortcuts I can today.
Yeah, but again, we have already said it. Don't do as we do, do as we say. You agree very much.
To be honest, I was expecting this to go better in terms of the coding. I was planning on being done now, but let's just do this later stuff, like the banner here. We have the item collection. Inside the item collection, we can just start designing stuff.
Yeah. Do that, and you have passed the index all the way, maybe, and then you can also, because you need to inject one more separator and then change the background color on the bottom, because you decided to make that part of the design.
Yeah, I'm once again not the smartest man alive. Here we go. So, okay, good. Let's do something else. Grid. Oh, that's wrong. What do we say here? Say that this has a display grid template columns. Once again, we need the index, but for now, Like this.
Stavros. But I guess what he defined there was basically a grid with 3 columns. That was the grid template thing he did, I assume.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm again commenting without knowing.
Yeah, but believe me, whenever if you comment and you're wrong, I will tell you. Once again, adding an inner just because we want to center the content. The bigger screens. Too shabby.
Looks good.
Yeah. And here, well, actually here we have title as. I confused myself once again. Oh, that's because we have H1, and I have actually gone and extended the styling of the H1 here. So this is also another way of doing it. But I'll just remove this. We don't need it. Oh, here. H1. As a H2. It's going to become big. I probably need to resize this when it comes to responsiveness, but now looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have these cards, which once again, wait, let's fix the description first. Multiple ways we could do this, but I'm going to be lazy. So, display flex. And just wrap it in. It's fine. Just okay, good.
Thanks.
Could you make the link pink? Link underline pink?
Yep. See? There's actually someone at my door that I need to check. So, you guys entertained? This is live stream after all.
That's perfect.
Awesome. So what do we change now, Mr. Board?
I guess we're almost there. I think the last part here is the styling of the images and removing the overlay text, because we don't want that. We just want to have the actual image and the link on the image. So I guess it's, and he also wants to have the box around with the border radius. That's from the design. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. And then it's a last if statement, insert the cloud, white background on the last part, because it's rendered, the partners are rendered the same as the sponsors. He was clever there, because then you can just reuse this.
Not too stupid after all. But yeah, well, a bit stupid. I just need to fix one thing. There we go, and then we go into the description. For those of us who has been here for the whole live stream, what's up? You guys are patient. Okay, let's see. I added description. Here. What did I say? Fancy link. That's what we call it, right?
Nice.
Hmm.
Now we'll just overwrite this. Is the one?
You know your CSS, mister.
Yes, I know how to overwrite stuff. But I'm also going to add just small spacing here. Here we go. Good. Right, so now we are on the cards here. And they look like they do on default. So we are going to go in here. And styles here. This will. What do we need? We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. Thank you.
But you pass a link there.
You
Where
just
does
need,
that come
yeah, there's a link.
Yeah.
Just change
URL?
yeah.
URL, right?
Looks good.
Looking good. Here, URL. Even this is content.
Yeah,
text.
content.
Here we go. You're also there. Same goes for all the feeds. Okay. Good.
I see an end in sight.
Yeah, as well. Which is good. That is good. We're trying to prove a point there. Which is quite funny. Oh, let's just do this. Yes. Hang on.
But Stavros, I think you and I have done a really good job today.
Yeah.
In summary, we we must be proud of our efforts.
Clicked and moved a lot of things around.
Yeah.
So we take the credits, or split the credits with Didrik.
Yeah. This is
Of course.
Stavros and me designed and built the website live.
I love it. Let's do this. First we have
next. Yeah.
Sorry.
Call spam. No, I was just saying. Next time I'll watch on the TV for the next stream.
Good point. Okay. What we'll do next is I need to go in here. We need to add some caps. 20. Other border, background, add the background. No. Okay.
So now he's debugging with the red borders just to figure
Always.
out all of the boxing. Yeah. And we still have people watching after 3 hours.
I am happy to hear that.
So you're
That is
trying to do inline the image inside the box?
Oh, yeah. Like this. Why? Sometimes I amaze myself.
Is it maybe, yeah, let's see. Maybe the image called Figma?
Yes.
Figma?
You see here?
Maybe it's not centered from Figma, though.
Oh, the image should be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, depends on what you did.
No, I didn't do anything.
It looks okay. That looks okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But basically, everything that we want to do here is the href here. What's up? That is good. It's a figure.
Stretchy.
Then we're going to use, like I always do, I always say, public text contain.
But you could also set the background image.
I don't think that's going to look too nice. Will it? I do cover, you mean? We're going to cut it.
Oh, no, that was a joke.
Oh, sorry. Getting late.
It's your joke.
I know. I'm not good. Oh boy, am I bad at jokes. Right. I think we are going to add some padding again. Yeah, looks better. And what we did. Yeah. So this pretty much looks like we want to.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. I'll even go. Ooh.
Oh, this is magic. This is magic, Didrik.
Oh. Okay. What we want to do now is take the platinum sponsors. We want those to be 3 columns, while the gold sponsors ones are 4 columns. Right? And since we have this here, we have the index. We'll say that. Well, I just need to make sure that I do this. I'm not sure this is passed all the way down, but let's see.
Yeah, it should.
What? So what we need to check is that, okay, number 3, which I don't like. Naming conventions always, always
so
good.
you want to have the same one for 4 and 4 columns for silver and gold.
Like so. If
Yeah,
it's platinum, it's platinum.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Sure.
That's the special case. Both the partners and the silver and gold sponsors will have 4 columns.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And this will, of course, look a bit better when we have the last spots here. Right? Almost there. Almost. Please tell me I designed it with a black border. Yes!
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Good stuff. Right. We're also going to check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If this works. And still change. So if we change it from partners or something, this will of course break. But you guys won't do that.
No, promise.
Promise.
There's so many things to go wrong. That doesn't matter. Next time I'll do it properly.
Oh, all right. If statement coming in.
Are you ready? And this is actually, I think we need to do it like this.
Or you can do if his partner returns something else, return this.
But you know what will happen if I do not double negative? Let's see. Yes, I think that's what's going to happen. Didn't happen. Okay, never mind. I'll keep it. Artifact. Yeah, we don't have artifact in there, of course. Good stuff. I'm going to make it.
Let's go for it.
Let's go. Let's see. Public artifacts. Because this I can use again. Can't I? I've used this before. Yeah, that's the first one. Yes. This.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's surprised.
Yeah.
It actually worked.
All right. Does it look like the design now?
It does. It does. I like the horizontal lines you added also. It's pretty.
What did you say? Teachers?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. But this is actually the current state of where we are. We do have this stuff, which are basically some minor bugs to. Let's see. I'll
And
see if I
also
can fix them.
it's the footer, and just verify that the call for papers link is in. But if you do the Twitter, come on, do the last part, do the React logo in the bottom with Twitter also.
Okay. All right.
Just do the footer, and then I think we can call it the first iteration.
I'll need to deploy first, so we promise.
Of course. Okay. I mean, yes, of course.
Okay, we'll close this. And like I said, tomorrow I'll probably have to go back and fix the responsiveness here. But from after this live stream, this will be live. Hopefully.
And by the way, call for papers will then be open.
Yeah. So if you would like to have a call on how to properly structure a project and how to create a simple one-pager, please let us know. I will not be holding this talk again. Let's see. What do you want to do? Now I lost my chart again. Well, we're going into of course, components, layouts, footer. Here we are. Okay, let's see. Here. So we have the furniture logo. This. Effect, Norway. Norway. Oh, not all. Other on list. Oh. Sitting there. Save. React Norway. We need a Twitter icon here. Let's go. Did I export it? Can you export it for me, Saros, and send it? Yeah. So I don't have to do everything.
What do you mean, Didrik?
Come on, Didrik.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, that was a low blow. People will be getting participation medals here.
Yeah.
All right. Set it.
Relax.
Relax.
Our link. Twitter. Should be all right. This one. Okay, send it. Here we go. Sarah sent me a Twitter icon. Could you send it as an SVG?
No.
No?
Yeah, of course.
I'll do it myself then. Wait a second. If I'm not mistaken. What? We have it in here. Of course we do. We are in the boilerplate. It did not break. Fairly managed one path. Oh, good. What's faster than news, Everett?
Oh, okay. Uploading internet.
Yeah, uploading. Oh yeah, repeat them. Let's see. Space between. Order. Can you give me some links, Edward?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Good stuff. Add this as well. See, looking better. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. Okay. Okay, and then we have trigger icon. Is there handle again?
I'll send you a link.
Just a second. I guess. Oh, of course, we're not going to it's React Norway.
I think it's just React Norway. Twitter.com/React Norway.
Okay, good. All right. Anything else?
Well,
Except
the details, the call for papers, verify that that link works. That's the most important. That is what we wanted to achieve today.
it looks like that's where we want to be.
Yeah, and then just do it live, and then we'll do more iterations on this and tidy it up and make it more solid. But yeah,
I'll just fix a couple of lines here.
Yeah.
Just because they bother me. That's a good filter. Okay, here we go. Let's start from here. This works. This guy. Banner. I had to think that.
Oh.
Same. I've done this. I don't know how to do this. I've done this before. Now I just don't remember. Let's see, inside of the global. I don't remember this stuff. Because it's always just there. I guess this one, outer.
All the border stuff. Yep.
That helps. That helps. It wasn't the globals that we complained about all the time. It was my stupid style. Still have it here. Let's go back. That's shape.
Oh yeah, because okay.
If you want to explain what's happened, just go.
No, is it that you have just different ones for your different banners? You're using the same outer there for both?
Yeah, because I fixed it for the banner, or the outer banner here, inside here. But we also need to go inside of, let's see, folder. Components. And I'm starting to get lost as well. Let's just do this. Do it properly. Okay. Yeah, use this, I know. Look like. That assumption was wrong. It might be the thing that I was talking about.
So it's in the media wrapper as well.
No, not exactly. But this is on. This is here, right? This is where we did it. Full image, but on the artifact here, this artifact. I can see if it's the image or. the image? Does it have? There we go. So you just need to be on the image because it doesn't exactly put itself on 0 pixels. The calculation is not always right. So I guess we need to do that for the octopus here as well. Okay. Banner.
Now we're talking.
We're talking. Ooh, almost. Is that? Go.
Done.
Nailed it.
Oh,
Nailed it. Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have some stuff here, as you can see. But
I see you can, yeah.
Looks pretty much like the design, Didrik.
yeah, should we do a review or? Oh, here we go. Or should we just try to go live?
Go to line. Oh, you have a line on top also.
Ah. Everyone is sorry. Let's see, page. Anyway, we have gone from design, content modeling, to actually creating it. It was a bit tedious, but we have actually created it.
And of course, we didn't time it up front, so we didn't know.
No.
Yeah.
What's the time now? I'm guessing we're over 3 hours now.
3:30. So we should be close to deploying.
We are super close to deploy.
She's so annoyed about the lines right now. Annoyed about the lines? Yep.
I am. Aren't you?
Yep.
Yep.
But I would just do global search for the border and just remove that from the images and the facets and document items.
Let's see. It's here on the main. What is that? Solid. Pata. I got it. Main. There we go. Like how it's all cramped up. That's for tomorrow, for the fixing.
Yeah. But we didn't aim at doing it responsive. But
No,
anyway, so I think this is mission accomplished to me, and to Stavros, it looks exactly like the Figma design.
Precisely.
Well, that's good. At least that's good. We can do a quick review. It's a lot of. Well, I'll decrease the height here. I'll fix the responsiveness. But other than that, all the components should be here. And we'll add this button also. We do have it in the section where it's supposed to be. But for tomorrow, I'll tune it. I'll fix all the minor things, add some power effects, and then we're basically done. It's just that it's not good content.
But let's do this one live at least.
Yep.
I will.
Oh, you are?
I'm going to do it like this.
So
the
could you get it up to the top of the screen because it's behind our faces?
true.
Yeah, or
Good point.
do like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, should we redeploy to React Norway.com? Have we set that
Yep.
up?
Yep. So just
All right.
deploy to the Crystallize account, and it should find itself. If not, I'll figure out the
That's it.
project name.
On project. Yes.
Yep.
It's not going to be perfect for 24 hours, but we'll fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yep.
Yep. Is
I
it there?
can see it. I can see it.
Oh, here it comes.
So you should have done minus prod just to do it directly.
I
now.
should have.
Nah.
I
Yeah,
should have.
it's fine.
Oh, just for show off. Let's see. So at least we have completed a long form live stream format.
Yep.
But it's good. Might be able to next time we can to keep some conversations going while someone and this is us also testing this out. But maybe in between when we're coding, bring in some other people that we can discuss some topics with.
Mm-hmm. And also help.
And also
Maybe
have like
also
a shared like a coding session.
Yeah.
So
As well.
Mm.
And we will be doing this. Well, we will do version 2 of this as well, where we will add schedule, and I will probably have done some stuff to the code as well.
You know what? I'll promote it directly to production. Boom.
Yep. You can promote production.
Done.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all the deployment created via Git can be promoted to production via the UI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a rule that Vercel has set because, just because. So you have to do it command line.
Looks really beautiful on mobile, so
Mm-hmm.
it is here though. But do you want to promote it today?
Yeah, just do it live.
Yep. Do once more with prod. Beautiful.
Cute.
And then once we can have it live now on React Norway.com, which should be in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess this stream is over.
I guess it is. Yeah.
So then we know, Didrik, how long does it take to design, build, and launch a website?
I will still say 3 hours.
You'll say 30 minutes was for deployment.
Well, without me losing my train of thoughts every now and then, this could easily have been done in 3 hours. I guess I was out of shape today. It was hard to talk in between.
Nice.
My code would probably be a bit better as well. And it's still another hour of making it responsive. I see that some titles here as well. It should be called React Norway Online and something else.
Mm-hmm. And I see that the last time this website was pushed to production was 249 days ago.
Time for an update then. Not yet.
It takes a bit more time to deploy like in production, I think.
Well, apparently.
Mm.
Now it's live.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Let's yeah.
And that does conclude our live stream today. Finally.
Pretty, Didrik. Good job.
No, but it was fun. And like I said, we will be continuing to fix the details here. But I guess for both ours and the viewers' sake, let's end it now.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Or are we ready for part 2 now?
Continue it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. No, but
Awesome.
quick summary. What we have actually done is to design, and we have designed, content modeled, initiated the project, adding content, built the site, and now deployed it live. After 3 hours and 40 minutes of talk.
Good job, Didrik. Good job.
Awesome, Didrik.
You guys as well. Thank you for the company.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll do the same. Let's end it. Thank you all for watching. You guys who were here for. If there was anyone watching from start to end, good job to you guys as well.
T-shirts in the mail.
Yes, that will be a T-shirt in the email.
In the email, actually.
We're just prolonging. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Are we off?
Ta-da!